Hello, I'm JP.WATKINS. Thank you for joining me. And as the title implies, don't be that person. So let me kind of tailor it in, bring it in, tell you what I'm talking about. As you can see, this is a picture of me, before and after. And of course, if you look at this picture right now, this is me currently speaking today in 2018, September. The picture to your right, that's me after I had lost 110 pounds. And that was a little over a year ago. Fell into the pleasure trap and fell back into my old habits and piled pretty much most of the weight back on. Previous to that, I had got up to 330 pounds, wearing like a 46 in the waist. And then in the other picture where I lost 110 pounds, I got down to a 34 in the waist. That's my goal now. Since I've been working on, getting back, in shape and losing weight and leading and living a healthy lifestyle. I was at 44. Unlike a lot of people, I don't do the scale thing all the time because I think sometimes it can kind of be self-defeating. I really use the clothes size, and when I lost that weight before, that's what I did before. So, if you eating the way you're supposed to eat and working out and doing cardio and hitting the gym, your clothes gonna tell you. A lot of times we do lie to ourselves and stuff like that. We're not exactly honest. But my goal now is like I'm like a 40 in the waist right now. Dropped down from a 44. Still got a long ways to go. But my goal is to get back to that 34. So you probably wondering, what? Don't be that person. What that got to do? Well, this whole notion of personal governance is about taking the lion's share responsibility. So I could just blame it on somebody else. Oh, my girlfriend was cooking all this, and oh, she just cooked every day, and no, she cooked every day, and I ate every day happily. So it's about being responsible. So what do I mean by don't be that person? A lot of times we look back and we rest on our laurels. We looked at, oh man, I graduated at the top of my class 10 years ago. We look at, oh man, I did this. And you think back and you spend all this time remembering the glory days. Oh man, I remember when I worked at such and such, when I was the manager of blase blase. But what are you doing today? What are you doing to bounce back? What are you doing to exemplify your dig deep? Think about that. I know you got it. But we all know somebody that's always talking about these tall tales from 10 years ago. Oh, when I was in the streets, I was, man. During my time when I was behind the bars, it was interesting because I was locked up with all these geniuses. I was locked up with all these gangsters. Everybody was big dope boys. Everybody was hard as steel. Yet, you hard as steel, yet you locked up in here with and like me. And all the dope boys is in here. Ain't nobody addicts. Ain't nobody users. Everybody dealers. So what am I getting at about don't be that person? Be honest. Be ruggedly honest with yourself. Because you're doing yourself a disservice. Part of the reason I put this up is because my community, my personal governance community, they're going to hold me accountable. They're going to say, you got this active philosophy and you ain't walking the talk? You still blowing up, you getting bigger and bigger. Well, hold on, what's about this accountability thing you're talking about? So what I'm really talking about is don't be that person that always being pulled to the past. Always talking about, oh, if this had a diff, when I was great, when I was achieving, when I was on top. What's changed? Okay, you fell off. Okay, you fell down. So it's time to get back up. It's time to bounce back For whatever reason, you're not staying on top of your industry like you need to. Maybe you got complacent. Maybe it's time to move on to something else. Maybe you're tired of being in that stagnant 9 to 5 position. Maybe it's time to step out and really honor your purpose and honor your inner greatness. Maybe it's that time. Don't be that purpose. Don't be that person who talk about, I wish. Oh, I wish I could play like that. Oh, I wish I could sing like that. But you don't put in no time. What are you doing today that's going to shape your tomorrow? And if you had those great accomplishments, great, awesome. You overcame. You were resilient. The good thing about having those accomplishments is like you can look back. Like myself, I can look back and say, you know what? You didn't got the weight off before. You can do this. That's a good thing. So it's good to reflect to see, you know what? You did it before. You could do it again. Only this time we're going to do it better. And the goal is for it to be a lifestyle, not just have this determination, drop all this weight, and then be yo-yo dieting. It's not the goal. The goal is to be healthy, to be happy, to live an active life, to be out there, my kids, my grandkids, to be out there hiking and biking, moving, shaking, so you want to look the part. So, but I also started this channel because I also want you to not fall into the trap, the perfection trap, as I call it. It's about progress. Make progress. Sure, it's going to be trolls out there. Sure, it's going to be people that's going to criticize it. Man, look, this bad dude trying to tell me about losing weight. Hey, look, at the end of the day, who can help you better? Somebody that's been there, somebody that knows the struggle, somebody that knows what it feels to fall 1,000 times, somebody who knows what gluttony is like, somebody who knows what, binge eating is like, somebody who makes a way out of no way, somebody who's learned and has a knack out of using adversity as a tipping point to really see the opportunity. So a lot of people say, what is this personal governance? What is it really about? It's about empowerment. So you don't have to rest on what you used to be. Focus on what you are. Focus on what you're becoming. You don't have to keep looking back to glory days of how you used to do this and used to do that. What are you doing today? What are you aiming to do tomorrow? Don't put it off. Don't say, I'm going to start this on the 15th. I'm going to start this on Sunday. I'm going to start this on Monday. Start today. Life is precious. Life is short. Don't just sit back and act like you're in your twilight years. Even if you are in your twilight years, you still have value. You still have a pulse and full faculty and the ability to communicate and express yourself. You still got value. What can you be teaching your kids? What can you be teaching yourself? There's so much to learn out there. We have so much to give to the broader society. If only we're willing to take a chance to get out there. It's just like when I first put up my first few videos, the perfection part of me is like, don't like the quality sound. I want to have better. I want to have, thumbnails. I want to have, introductory music. I just wanted to be more polished. And I realized that whole perfection trap is what's keeping so many of us from starting, of becoming and being our best. Oh man, I ain't got the right microphones. I ain't got the right software. I ain't got the right equipment. You know what? Use what you got, and it will help you get everything that you need. It will provide for you. When you provide service, when you provide value to other people, when you help others, that's the best way to help yourself, because others will have a reason and incentive to help you. But when you're not helping yourself, how can you be to help with somebody else? How can you be a help to your kids? How can you help your kids with your homework when you don't know? You can't read. You can barely read. How can you help them make better decisions? How can you help them manage their household, manage their money when you don't manage your money? How can I help? Hold on one second. Alrighty, thank you. Sorry about that interruption. That was an important call I had to take. But back to the message that I was making. It's so important that we not get caught up in perfection, the perfection trap. If everything ain't right, I'm not going to do it until it's just perfect. You know what? I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I said, you know what? A poor product is better than no product because you can't improve upon no product. So when I'm getting out here and I'm putting this content out here, and people say, "Hey, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he don't edit this. I don't like, and guess what? If you get enough pushback and you say, you know what? Maybe I need to listen. I need to listen to the community. Certain things people ain't gonna agree with. They just ain't gonna agree with. It's not about doing everything to satisfy everybody. The easiest way to satisfy nobody is to try to satisfy everybody. And that's why I'm always stressing operate in your purpose, pursue your purpose, pursue your passion. Your passion may be basketball. That ain't everybody's passion. Your passion may be helping the poor. That ain't everybody's passion. Your passion may be pushing for reparations. That ain't everybody's passion. You have to decide what your passion is, what your purpose is, and go for it. So don't be that person that's always talking about what you used to be 2, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Stop letting the past pull you back. Use the past as a tool to kind of gauge, okay, this is where I was at. I kind of like being there. How can I bounce back? How can I dig deep and make myself elevate again? What do I need to do differently? How can I sustain it this time? How can I learn from what I did, what I didn't do? So I really want you to take this away. If you don't take nothing else away from this, start looking at what you can do today, right now, today. What action can you take today to get you closer to where you want to be? Where are you at right now? Are you struggling to pay your rent? Are you struggling with your weight, your health? Are you struggling with a relationship? Do you got a terrible disposition? Got a terrible attitude? Hot headed? Always letting recklessness fly out your mouth? Losing jobs? Having terrible relationships with your family and friends? Is everybody else always the problem? Just asking some questions here. So do that self-analysis. Where are you? Are you happy with where you at? Now think about it. If you're not happy where you at, when were you your happiness? At your happiest point? What were you doing? What brought you joy? What brings you joy? And now for the big thing. Excuse me. What are you going to do today? What are you going to change? Yeah, it takes time for your life to just totally change. If your finances in a rut, you didn't get in a rut overnight, it's not going to change overnight. If you're obese and you're overweight, you didn't get overweight overnight, that's not going to change overnight. But guess what? Once you decide to change your direction, you can do that immediately. Immediately, right now, you say, you know what? Yeah, I know I've been eating a bunch of junk food, a bunch of processed food, a bunch of refined carbs. You know what? Today, and don't overwhelm yourself. Maybe you have such a poor diet. At one point, I had such a poor diet. I was like, man, I'm eating all this processed food, and I'm eating all these sugars. I'm just eating everything was just bad. So then I had to ask myself. I say, if one thing gonna kill you, if one thing gonna put you in the grave, what is it gonna be? And for me, I decided that sugar was that thing. So I started focusing on getting sugars out. So I stopped drinking pop, stopped drinking juices, you know, focused on just getting all those sugars, or at least most of it. Now, I do eat some sugar sometimes, but the biggest battle was just eliminating drinking the liquid sugars. So that was the easiest thing to cut out for me. And just by cutting that out, I cut out tons of sugar, tons of calories, just by cutting out pop and juice. Then that enabled me to start cutting out more pies and, stuff like that. That eventually you start getting away from the pizza, but you tackled the biggest thing at a time. Don't complicate this. Whatever your big issue is, let's start tackling it. Start tackling it today. So don't be the person that's always bragging about what you used to be, how fine and shapely you used to be back in junior high school and high school, how you used to be on the cheerleading squad. You know what? What you gonna do today? What you gonna be today? What can you be today of value? How can you operate in your purpose and your passion and make a difference, a meaningful difference for yourself, for your family, for your friends? Don't be that person that's wishing all the time. Oh, I wish I could do this. What? You got two hands. Put wish in one hand and work in the other. Now ask yourself, if you wishing to get a beautiful home, beautiful car, you don't have a better chance wishing for it or working for it. If you wishing that you could speak better, that you communicate better, is wishing or working gonna make you better at that? So be a worker. It's great to have dreams, but dreams with no actions are just dreams. So have these big dreams, have lofty dreams. Dreamers have helped us make this world a better place. At one point in time, everybody had horses. Henry Ford said, man, wouldn't it be something if most of the population, nearly everybody, could have cars? And at that time when people had their horses, like, man, I got a horse, but I want a car. Now look at how many people can't imagine their life without a car. Bill Gates had a similar vision back when IBM was a big dog. Only big businesses, corporations had these computers. Bill Gates felt like, man, wouldn't it be something if everybody, nearly everybody, had a desktop computer in their home? And now a lot of people don't even have desktops, they got laptops. But one thing led to another. These dreams, this vision, it helped to make the world a better place. It's people that I wouldn't be able to talk to today if it wasn't for people that had that vision. The Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates, and the name goes on. The guys that started Google. Think about that. Think about the technology that's been developed. Think about the advancements. Think about the things that we can do today. Don't sit there and frustrate yourself about, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Start today. Even if it's just a good self-examination. If you don't know what you want to do, start by what you know you don't want to do. I don't know what I want to do. I'm young. I don't know. I just got out of high school. I don't know what I want to do. Then find out what you don't want to do. What disgusts you? What really make your blood pressure high? What are you passionate about? What make you want to pound your fist? What make you want to really get enraged? Then maybe that's something that you should advocate for. Maybe that's something you should fight for. It's your life. Don't be that person to take it for granted. Don't be that person who just talk and talk and talk. Don't be that person who don't believe in yourself. Get the confidence, get the courage, and act on your conviction. Make a difference today. And I'm trying to do a better job at smiling. Different people say, man, you always frown, you're always looking so serious. But I'm serious about this, and it's not because I'm angry, it's because I'm passionate. And I really want you to be passionate about changing your life, about being the best version of yourself, so that you can be better for you, you can be better for your loved ones, and you can contribute to humanity and to the broader society. Each of us, by us helping each other, we become stronger, we become better. These new ideals that we find sometimes offensive, that challenge us in our core beliefs, sometimes it rock us, sometimes it shock us. But if it's going to make us, then so be it. So that's my time for the day. And in the meantime, persist, believe, so that you can achieve. And I really appreciate you taking the time to join my channel. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe, comment, and if you got any different topics that you would like for me to address, definitely say, hey, I want you to talk about this, depression, loneliness, whatever. If you want to even really me to dig into anything in particular, because this is about empowerment. That's what personal governance is about, self-empowerment. It's about taking that power back. It's about advocating for ourselves. It's about having that sense of self-fulfillment. That's what it's about. All right, that's my time.